Oh, hello.
Hey kittens, what's going on?
How's everyone doing?
How y'all
What's
doing?
happening? What's the tea? What's
Oh
the
my
gaga? What's the
God. It
gags?
feels like it's been so long since we've seen y'all. What's going on? Oh
I
my
know, right? It has been
God.
it has been a minute,
Has it been a minute? Has it really? Oh my God. What's
whole minute.
going on? What y'all doing? What y'all been up to? Everybody got outside in this lovely weather?
I've seen the weather outside. I have not gotten out yet,
Yes, seeing the weather. Oh,
and I had my windows open. Uh, my windows have been open for the past 3 days.
okay. Hey,
Yeah,
Rashida. There go Rashida I see her in the comments. Hey, Rashida, it's Nene. What's going on, girl? How you doing? Uh-huh. She early. She on time.
and eccentric is there.
What's up, eccentric? What's going on? But yeah, it was like a lovely, balmy, like 86 degrees, I think, at some point today.
Hmm.
It's in the DMV. It was amazing. Listen, it was a it was a beautiful day to go on outside and twist my motherfucking ankle.
Poor thing.
Baby, this getting old is just, oh my God. I will say that I will credit the Black Degree Factory with having some old raggedy ass streets going on. Because I surely, as I'm walking, I'm noticing all the holes and divots and cricks and cracks and everything else. And baby, I stepped right, then I stepped left. And baby, when I stepped left, my ankle went left, and then that
Hmm.
down on the ground. And it just so happens in that exact spot that my ankle went left, I went on top of a rock. So the rock hit me right in the side of that, right on the side of my ankle, that bone that sticks out. When I tell you she is tender than a motherfucker,
Oh
babe.
Lord, our bunny fell down the stairs.
Listen, but this is the sad part. This is the vanity. Bitch, I was not gonna fall in the middle of that street on Georgia Avenue. Bitch, are you kidding me? I was like, I was up against
And
the wall.
listen, it had everybody on the street clown you at once.
Baby, I just went right to the side. I was up against the wall, like I was a mime. I was like, bitch, what? Bitch, what? But baby, I had to stand and get myself together.
I bet you did.
Oh my God. And I then came home, put this ice on it. I took some acetaminophen. Baby, this thing, and it's swollen. But listen, it's child, she's a bit much, but we're gonna get past that.
Yes.
But all in all, that was cool. Um, but this getting old. And I also had a doctor's appointment today. I went to go get my eyes checked. How the hell? Tell me this, because you wear glasses. Anybody else that wears glasses, and I'm supposed to be wearing my glasses. Let me be clear.
Yes, you are.
She told me that my vision from the last time I had my eyes checked was better than it was this time. I mean, better this time than it was last time. So I was like, what do you mean? She said, not by much. She just said, I think that they overcorrected you or tried to overcorrect you the last time, and you
Hmm.
didn't necessarily require it. So we're going to, lessen your prescription a little bit. So I was like, all right, well, cool, whatever. So I had to get 2 more pairs of glasses or whatever. I'm sorry, I had to get 1 pair of glasses, but it doesn't make any sense because I don't wear my glasses that often. I got 2 pair because I keep one in the car, which is when I generally tend to need them when I'm driving at night, and the other one can stay in my bag. So okay, cool. But that was a nice little piece of change. Thank God for FSA.
I was
Um,
gonna say, uh, the boyfriend had to do the same thing, get new glasses. So he went to Warby Parker because there is a local location, and he got a good deal.
that's exactly where I went. I went to Warby Parker.
Oh,
And
and you still had to pay. You still had to pay a grip. I guess well, his company just might have different insurance.
well, yeah. So let's be clear. Thank God for FSA. We'll just say that. Now the
Right.
frames, not expensive. But these progressive lenses and all that other crap,
Mm-hmm. She'll get you together.
she gathered me all the way together in a paper bag and put a twist tie around it, and then
Mm-hmm.
set me on fire and threw me out when I was sitting there waiting for the approval from the Mastercard. But I mean, it was cool. I'm already talking about stuff that went on with me for the week, so I'm gonna continue on going. But
Yeah. So we've been waiting, with bated breath to find out what happened with your coworker.
yeah, Picture it.
I literally have been like, when we canceled the show last week, I was like, shit, I kind of want to know what happened with old girl.
Baby, listen, HR issued her a return to work letter.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, they sent me copies of it. Hey, Master Mac.
Hey, Mac, how's it going? Good seeing you.
Good to see you. But they issued her ass a return to work letter and copied me on it, and it was very clear and very specific.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
when was she supposed to be back in the office?
Baby, she was supposed to be back in the office on April the 4th.
Oh,
April the 4th came and went, and she listen. That same day, by that afternoon, they had already, not only had they sent the original return to work letter, they also had taken her out of the system.
mm-hmm.
And they had already sent that letter saying that she had been terminated, and the
Mm-hmm.
system notified that this particular person has been terminated.
There you go.
Damn, I was like, what the? But now the worker of all this is my boss, the director, still has not made a public announcement about this person yet. And I'm like,
why?
And that's what I said. And so I said to him, I said, we got to the end of the week last week, and I said, so are we going to say something? Because we normally have our staff meetings on Fridays, and I normally meet with my staff on Friday. Well, I'm saying staff meeting with the entire unit as opposed to just our office. Our office's staff meeting is on Thursdays. But on Friday, I usually have a staff meeting after we have our staff meeting with everybody in our unit. Then I have a staff meeting with the people that I supervise, and so I talk to him about that afterwards. So I'm hoping that he will make this announcement in the staff meeting. But when I asked him last week, I said, "Well, are you going to make the announcement?" He said, "Well, I don't want to." He's like, "I don't want to end everybody's week on a down note." And I was like,
"Why is that a down note? They still got a job. She the one that don't have a job,
right?" But then I said, "Well, I guess that's the half empty, the glass half full, glass half empty type of thing, because
that's
ending on a down note.
That's a dereliction of leadership."
But then the other part is, you're gonna wait to start it next week. That's gonna be you're already starting on a down note. I mean, at that point. So what are you talking about? Like, it's
right.
But okay, whatever. I'm out of that. But yes, old girl got her return to work. But so again, it's been coming back to me through the grapevine that she's scheduled to come back on the 16th, which is actually Sunday. And so apparently she's going to show up to HR on that Monday when she comes back into town. And I'm like,
girl, you have been terminated. What the fuck are you showing up for?
Yeah, I'm like, but why? Like, what are you doing? And you coming in on Monday. So what you gonna do? Like, I mean,
you filed, you did your little stunt, you did your little show, you filed for FMLA twice. It's been denied
twice.
And what else is there to do? I mean, are you saying you was discriminated against or something?
I'm sure she's gonna pull every stop out of the trick out of the book. To make something out of this, the military aspect, the female aspect, the promises or side deal aspect. Like, I'm sure she's going to pull all this out of her bag. But I mean, at this point, and I mean, it's what's sad for me is I am your supervisor of record. So if she takes this to court, I still got to go to court.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I mean, whatever. I'll deal with that whenever I get there.
Right. But, you'll cross that bridge. Whatever.
Yeah. So other than that, busy ass week. We have Accepted Students Day coming up, and we'll have a large amount of Negroes on campus on that day, and we're also
what is it called? Accepted Students Day.
Accepted Students Day. So it's not the orientation. It's just everyone. It's to get people to make their final decision to put their deposits down by the May 1st universal deadline.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having Accepted Students Day. So of course I have to show up. I got to do a presentation to talk to people. Now they already got their award packages, and all of them is going to be asking for money. Now, what I will say is I'm happy that we already have a pre-crafted letter that basically says, "Oh my God, thank you so much for reaching out to us. We're so happy to have you coming here in the fall. We don't have any more money, but listen, I'm going to give you this plus loan application, and you're going about your way." That's it. That's literally all that it says. And I'm here for it. So listen, cut paste. That's what I'm going to be doing. Thanks. So on Friday, I'll have all the staff over to talk to people just in case they have extra questions or whatever. I know they're going to be asking to talk to somebody in charge or whatever. And I'm like, babe, we don't have time for that. Like, you can talk to me with whatever you want to. There's no more money, honey. We done told you there's no more money. What we gave you was what we could actually afford. That's it. So I'm happy about that. This is the first institution that I've worked at where we get to this point where it's basically just no, we have no more money. So, but we'll see. But it's been a busy week. We had some trainings and stuff. I've been multitasking. I hate when people schedule multiple meetings for multiple things on the same day. And I'm in one meeting and I have to go to 2 other meetings inside of those meetings. And so just annoying. Long day. And I'm glad it's over. But for me, the week, that's what it was. That's how it was. And I'm glad it's over. But how was your week? Because you had a lot of stuff going on. Posted a couple little pictures. What's going on? How was your week?
So let's start with work stuff. So we had to have a conversation with one of the people on my team, and I was like, listen, girl.
Honey, girl,
baby doll,
girl,
sweetie. And he's this person is not gay or anything, but that's in my mind, I was just like, girl, you cannot believe you were doing well at this job.
You know damn well.
You cannot believe you were doing well at this job.
I thought it was amazing. I thought I was going to be employee of the
girl.
But I mean, I did.
Girl.
But you sent me a letter and it
girl.
I'm just saying.
Girl. And so we sat him down. I pulled up this PowerPoint presentation. I was like, I need to be clear that this is an official performance management discussion.
There it is.
So, this was not just, hey, I think you need to do better. It was like, listen, girl, this right here. And I was like, listen, anytime you turn in something, I got to redo it. So it makes me question why we have you here.
Uh-oh.
And then we talked about all the things that need to change and we need to see. And then I was like, all right, girl, we are level setting. And for me, I mean that. Now, my boss, because she's a little bit like, yeah, but he did so. I was like, we said we was level setting. And if we level set, that means we can't keep bringing up old shit.
Right.
You got to give them a chance to get it together because we are resetting and acting like this is the start. So there we go. So there was that. Let me see what else happened. So everything is happening. And whenever you try to go out of town, everybody wants something or other. Yes. And so my boss sort of half jokingly was like, you've been out of town, for at least a couple of days every month, since the start of the year. She was like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like,
what's your point?
And then I was like, yeah, but nothing has fallen through the cracks. She was like, has it? And I was like, oh, well, let me tell you what I did this week. I created 9 horizontal assessments. I completed 7 budgets. I completed 2 submissions in the forecasting tool and created a whole program out of 2 words that the big boss said to me. He said, conference room refresh. And I spun that into a 10-page presentation scope brief. Those 2 words. And then, so what I've started doing is since I have to do my own performance management stuff, baby, I started listing all of the shit that I do. So right now we're on 3 pages and that's just for these past 2 months. And then as I start pulling shit back from when I started as a permanent employee, I mean, you just got to always look out for yourself. People will say we cool and everything, but when it come right down to it, you just got to look out for yourself and handle your business. So whatever. And then, so all of that is happening. And then, it's like Monday turns into Tuesday and just like more shit kept piling up. And I was like, I'll get it all. It'd be like, I'll get right on that, Rose. That was just like all I could say. I was like, all of this is going to be done before I leave town on Wednesday because I am leaving town on Thursday morning. That's just not an option for me not to go.
Right.
And so Monday night, I was working. I got up at 7:00, started working, and I was working continuously until 11:00 Monday night. Then I worked until like 10:30 on Tuesday night. And so I finally got everything done. So on Tuesday, we are in this meeting, right? And so here's my thing. I am a great program manager. I am a great project manager. That is not in question by me or anybody that works with me. And so I have high standards about how things should be delivered to the client. So one of these documents that I'm working on was a set of drawings. So I'm reviewing the drawings, pulling all of this shit together. And we're in a meeting with some of our team, and they've been fucking around for the past month. Every time we met, you know how you get this feeling like the meeting is, first of all, the meeting is scheduled at 3 o'clock on a Friday. So I'm already pissed.
So
Already pissed about that.
I hate when people schedule meetings on a Friday or at the end of the day between the hours of 3:30 and 5.
Right.
Why? But anyway, go ahead.
And on top of the meeting being scheduled at the, hey, Spesh, the meeting being scheduled at the end of the fucking day, when we get into the meeting, it's clear that they have not really done anything since the last meeting, except for like an hour beforehand. Because I'm like, this should be a whole lot further advanced than we are now. And so, like, one of these times we come to the meeting and they're like, oh, well, you know, Joe Billy Bob can't be at the meeting. You know, he had some sort of an emergency. So I was like,
well, what does that have to do with
it? Got to do with me? Yeah, because you mean to tell me that in this huge multi-million-dollar corporation, there's only one person that can do this work that Amtrak needs?
And when was the last time?
It got real quiet in the room because everybody was expecting me to be like, oh, yeah, no problem, next week. And I was like,
well, when was the last time y'all met? Was it like a week ago?
It's every week.
So basically, there should have been a week's worth of work or a week's worth of
for somebody to pick up.
Right.
So I can read, exactly. I can read between the lines. Ain't nobody else working on this, and no one else really doing anything. So I was like, you know what? I don't really care about none of that. I don't care about any of all of that you were talking. This shit needs to be done by next week. And that's the end of that, because before I got on that plane, all this shit was supposed to be ready to go, and we were just putting the finishing touches on it. So we met last Tuesday, like before I was leaving. And as they're walking through the drawings, I was like, hold up.
Hold on.
Hold the fuck up.
Hold on.
This dude said, yeah, so we're looking at this and got something. We got to replace like 10 cameras. And I was like, bitch, I have been schooling myself up on this set of drawings because I didn't really know everything about the project. And I saw specifically, all of this is technical stuff, but there was a spreadsheet built into the set of drawings that said there were 45 cameras. And so, because as he was going over it, I was like, this doesn't look like the same set of drawings I was reviewing. And then I was like, wait a minute. You motherfuckers have been working on the wrong project for the past 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
And so I immediately.
So now you got 3 weeks worth of wasted fucking time.
Dear Stuart and Angelia, my bosses, these motherfuckers have been working on the wrong project for the past 3 weeks. Now, before I said all of that, I was like, you all have been working on the past 3 weeks. Working on the wrong project for the past 3 weeks. And they was like, oh, well, we'll fix it to take like another week. I was like, you don't have another week. This is still due on the 12th. I don't care what you all have to do. I don't care how many hours extra you have to put in. Oh, and by the way, I am not paying you any extra for this. So whatever the company that's working on this, you can pay your people extra and do whatever, but Amtrak is not paying a single extra dime for this, because for the past 3 weeks, you all have been working on the wrong project. Then I looked to the Amtrak people and was like, this also means that y'all have been fucking around, because how the fuck did they end up working on the wrong project for the past? First of all, they don't get no information other than what we give them to work on. So you gave them the wrong shit to work on. And you clearly haven't been checking in on what they've been doing for the past 3 weeks.
All of It's
is
that
in,
part right there. That
yeah,
management,
all of that.
part.
Right. So
Oh my
because the contractor, yeah, they fucked up, but the people that really fucked up is the Amtrak people, because I'm like, y'all supposed to be having the oversight of this. I'm the integrator. I am not a technical expert on this. Y'all are supposed to be managing this, and you all clearly were not paying attention or reviewing this or doing anything. So I wrote my little email. My boss escalated it. My big boss escalated it to their big boss, and then the woman who was at my level, who was like, when we have an issue, we should reach out to one another. That's why I posted on Facebook. The girls don't ever want you to escalate, but the shit don't get done until you escalate. Because if I hadn't said anything, because first of all, the client, who is another organization within Amtrak, is already looking at us with the side eye, because there's like, you motherfuckers have been saying this was going to be done for like the past 3 months. And so then I'm supposed to go back to them and say, I know we said we would get this to you as soon as possible, but oops,
or two.
We need another month. So I was like, I'm not going to get in and sit in front of this woman for one more week and be like, we need another week for reasons that aren't even like related to the project. I mean, at least when old boy got sick and almost died, I was like, well, I guess I can. I mean, because people do get sick or whatever. But
yes, I can step in. I mean, you almost died. I mean,
right. But don't you die on me, I'll kill you first. So all of that. And then so like we had another follow-up meeting today, and their big boss, everybody was like sort of dancing around the issues. And you know what? The reason that I'm successful in this organization is because I'm not blunt. I mean, I laugh and joke with people.
I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon. What happened?
What?
I'm sorry. The speaker went out. You said what now? What happened?
I said, I am nice. I am a ray of goddamn sunshine. And
okay.
I laugh and joke with people, and I get along with everybody.
Okay. All right. I thought I heard something about this.
Y'all heard the shade. You heard the shade.
I just wanted to clarify, because
you heard the shade,
it sounded
didn't you?
like you said was.
You heard the shade, didn't you?
It sounded like you said you wasn't blunt. That's what it sounded like.
No, I never. Well, at work, I mean, I'm not but so blunt at work, but what I am is factual. Blunt? What I am is factual. So they were all like, yeah, we need to work on our relationship and everything. And I said, Paul, the problem here is that your team was working on the wrong set of documents for the past 3 months, past 3 weeks.
Thanks, Accenture.
Like, listen, both of y'all can go to hell.
Oh, but he not blunt though. He not blunt though. But okay, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
And so when I said that, he was like, what? Even he was shocked. And so like then the other people on his team was like, yeah, they were. Because they had not told him that. The reason we was having the conversation with the big boss is because they had not told them that. And my concern is that, listen, what I'm not going to do, because I'm the integrator, I'm the one that sits in front of, all of these other people and say why the larger team of people that don't report to me, but I'm responsible for making them get their work done, for saying, oh, well, we're late for another 2 weeks, when I know the reason why we're late is bullshit. So you're not going to have me keep having to think on my feet and come up with bullshit excuses when you aren't even trying to pull your weight. So I was like, no, girl, the reason we are having this conversation is because y'all people ain't been doing nothing for the past 3 weeks. And then he read between the lines too. He said, oh, so not only did I'm simplifying it. He was like, oh, so not only did the contractor fucked up, but our people fucked up because they haven't been paying attention for these past 3 weeks. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then, of course, so my boss is presenting, right? So she's showing the drawing and showing all of the problems that we're having. And so then the guy who is the boss of the guy who fucked up is talking, and Angelia sends me a chat saying, this motherfucker knew that last week. She didn't say that. She said, he knew this last week. And then Paul, the big boss, is like, Angelia, we can see your text screen. she she was like, oops. we laughed and joked about that for like 30 seconds. Because I did that shit when I first started working there. We were in this meeting and this dude was saying some bullshit that was obvious that he didn't know what he was talking about and hadn't really been doing any work. And I was texting to someone else in the meeting and was like, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about. And then she called me. She was like, bitch, you know we can see your screen, right?
And then you sitting there like,
click. And just he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't even paying attention, so he didn't see what I wrote. And luckily I had not recorded the meeting, so that was good.
Well, that's good.
So anyway, so I packed everything that I needed and got on my plane Thursday morning and had a lovely trip to Las Vegas. It was nice and quiet. The only thing was that this kid kept kicking the back of my chair. And I let it go once or twice, and then I let it go. And then finally I turned, ma'am, your son keeps kicking the back of my chair. An hour and a half later, ma'am, your child is still kicking my chair.
And then she probably hit you with this shit. Well, what do you want me to do? He's a kid. You're a parent.
She didn't say any of that. She was like, Bobby, stop it. And I'm just like, because the way that Stephanie would have been like, if you don't
listen,
you better sit your ass back in that seat and shut it up,
baby. Mary Alice, listen, all we got to do is Mary Alice.
Yes.
That's all we got to say. I'm good with
it. So when we were in Vegas, we stayed at the Wynn, which was quite festive.
Is the Wynn the one? It's all black, and does it have the Bellagio has a really big fountain in front of it, but is the Wynn the diamond, the pyramid one shape, I think, or whatever?
No, that's Luxor.
Okay.
No, the Wynn it's a sort of a curved tower, and it's like this sort of copper colored glass, and it says the word Wynn in like Steve Wynn's signature
at the top of it or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's a building next door to it called the Encore, which is actually the property that we stayed at, but it's all part of the Wynn complex. Our room was cute. And
most of the rooms in Vegas are cute. Most of them.
Yes. And then so I'll hit the highlights. So we went to this place called Area 15, which was like this indoor sort of amusement sort of thing. So they had like an indoor zip line and stuff, and we did this virtual reality zombie fighting thing, which I was not at all interested in doing. But when we actually got in there, I got my motherfucking life.
Like, come on, bitch! You want some too? I
swear to you. So they give you this gun. Like I posted.
I was trying to get people to do it when he came to DC. It was a bust. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and so it was so much fun. So we were looking to find something similar to that in DC. So we did that, and then we saw one of the reasons that we chose the Wynn is because they had a show at the Wynn called Awakening, and it was a beautiful show. So it was. First of all, the theater itself was beautiful and everything was moved. So the stage, moved in a circle. Actually, the whole stage was like lit LED panels. So like pieces of it moved and went up and down and tilted, and they had puppets and balloons and all sorts of stuff. So it was a little bit Cirque du Soleil. A lot Cirque du Soleil sort of influenced by, but it was a beautiful story. I tell you, I was like the shit that was happening, I'm sort of jaded because I was like, oh yeah, you can see the guy, holding, the ventriloquist dummy, you can see his lip moving. So I'm like, oh, the magic trips, like when the one where the guy is like leaning backwards, he's like, he's not supported, bitch. He's got his foot in a shoe and with a rod that's holding him steady, because you ever notice that leg don't move? But there was some jaw-dropping shit that happened in this show. So we had a really wonderful time. I mean, how often am I going to go back to Vegas? Not very much, because just generally,
Vegas is like a once every. It's like a every five. I'd say like 5 to 10 years type of situation because
yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
we went in 20. The last time I went was in 2016. We went in 2023, and I might go again in like 5 more years. I mean, it
yeah,
was
like
cute. We
it's
had a fun
yeah,
time, but it doesn't feel like someplace I need to go.
no.
It's not ever going to be like when I think of vacation, I'm like, let's go to Florida, let's go to Cancun,
Yeah,
let's go on a
Vegas
cruise, let's go to Europe or something. I'm not ever thinking, let's go to Vegas.
But I will say the next time I do go to Vegas, I'm going to that motherfucking bingo. They have a huge bingo, bitch.
Well, of course.
I'm just
It
saying.
wouldn't be you if you didn't do that.
Come on,
Well, I've got a few TikToks to share.
come on,
and then a few stories to share real quick.
And to answer your question, eccentric, no, I wasn't duck walking, bitch. I haven't seen a full on duck walk since probably like 2013, 14, 15, somewhere around there at the latest. I'm just saying. But I mean, I appreciate it. But no, I twisted my ankle walking down the damn street with the damn pothole on the damn streets.
Poor thing. All right, so first one.
Juvenile lunatic! Hit her with the space lasers! Blast her with the fucking space lasers! Get the fuck out of New York, you racist, sick, filthy, infected animal! Get the fuck out of here!
Get the fuck out of here!
Baby, the way he let her ass have it.
Get the fuck out of here! That was so New York, though. Hey, Michelle.
It really was. So this is how I'm trying to turn up at events next year.
Come on, Miss Dorsey.
Let me tell you what turns me is this moment right here. She just stands there for a moment like, yes, bitch, get into it.
But wait, here's the thing. Miss Doris Day was clean as shit. And
Yes.
honestly speaking, there is not one part of her body showing other than her fucking head and her fucking hands. She clean as shit. Clean as shit. It's the details, the inside of the jacket. It's amazing. So I listen, that's a cute look. I love Miss Doris Day for that.
Yes, and that baby, because the first time I saw that, I was like, bitch. Because the coat just first of all, the coat by itself was just fab. That white coat, white button-up trench coat was cute by itself. But then when she turned and the lining matched the motherfucking dress, I was like, bitch.
Very cute.
That just turned my little gay jeans all aflame and all aflutter.
Listen, down on a molecular level, it just activated something.
Exactly. If I was not gay before this moment, if I had that like when I'm sure there is a whole generation of gays who are in their 70s now, when they're like, how did you know you was gay? And they're like, let me show you this clip. The moment that bitch opened that coat up and showed that orange sequence,
Baby.
bitch, I knew I was a homosexual right there.
Baby, let me tell you when I felt like I knew I was a homosexual. The first time I saw Miss Lola Falana perform, like I saw her because she was this beautiful black woman. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, she brought all the drama. She was talented as shit. She was beautiful, but she brought all the drama. And I remember seeing, and I'm not sure if it was on like a Bob Hope special or some little variety show special, that whole thing with her in the black screen and the fans and all that going around. I remember watching that at some particular point on some show, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, listen.
And thus a homosexual was born.
And she had some ties to Philadelphia too. Come on now.
Right.
Come on. But anyway,
so I've got a good news story and a really disgusting news story. So
come on,
y'all remember interview with the vampire that was on AMC?
Uh-huh.
So you remember the character of Claudia.
Yep.
She has been recast. She's not returning for the season 2, which has been approved. She's being replaced by Delaney Hales, whose previous TV credits include BBC's Holby City, and the current actress, whose name is Bailey Bass, says, due to a variety of unforeseen circumstances, I'm unable to return to Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire for the second season. Playing Claudia has been a dream role and an incredible ride. I wish Delaney the best of luck in taking over. I cannot wait to watch.
Listen,
So it seems like it wasn't like it was an amicable thing. It was like she's got other things to do, and you know.
yeah. She
So,
was already in, like, scheduled to be in something that was already huge, and then this, took off. But baby, there was no. This is one of those things for me where I would love to see what this actress does, because, just like Dreamgirls, I feel like the part of Effie, you have to be terrible to fuck that part up.
right.
Because it's written for success. In my opinion, it's written for someone to succeed. And
It really is.
Claudia, it's written for someone to succeed, because she played the
I mean, you could emote like shit. I mean, you don't really have to work too hard to just, you could be as dramatic as you fucking want to be.
Yeah. So I'll just be interested to see how this is going to play out. But I mean, she was great, but she did kind of set the tone, or the book and the original scene where it was brought to life, the original movie where she was brought to life and you got to see her. Kirsten Dunst did an amazing job. So let's start with that.
That's true.
But this young lady also in this remake did an amazing job. And they're the same character, but they're two separate amazing jobs.
Right.
So I'll be interested to see what this young lady does.
So this next story is pretty disgusting to me. So the Dalai Lama, during a February event, the Dalai Lama asked a boy to kiss him on the lips and stick out his tongue, and stuck out his tongue. And then he said to the boy, and suck my tongue. He said, a statement posted to the Dalai Lama's official website said the 87-year-old leader regretted the incident and wished to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. So the incident occurred at a public gathering in February at the Sublakhang Temple in Dharamsala, where the exiled leader lives. He was taking questions from the audience when the boy asked if he could hug him. The Dalai Lama invited the boy up towards the platform he was seated on. In the video, he gestured to his cheek, after which the kid kissed him before giving him a hug. The Dalai Lama then asked the boy to kiss him on the lips, and he stuck out his tongue, and suck my tongue, the Dalai Lama can be heard saying as the boy sticks out his own tongue and leans in, prompting laughter from the audience. I'm like,
I listen. The
right,
read,
but it's drag queens is grooming the kids.
But the read is they talked about how he always makes jokes, and he's very playful with people when they that's his personality. Mm-hmm. And so they were saying that what did he say? They said that they said that they called his behavior innocent and playful. At least that's what they said. They said his Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as many friends across the world, for the hurt this may have caused. But he says he often teases people, and he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras. He regrets the incident. Is that how we're doing it? We're smoothing this over like that, like with the
right. And this is exactly what grooming is, and this is how kids end up getting victimized, because they're made to feel, so they'll, like that kid, I don't know, and this kid maybe was fine with it, and everybody there thought it was humorous or whatever, or maybe they were just so in awe that they didn't know how to react at the moment. But whatever, when people say that's kind of fucked up thing to do to a child, because you made this child kiss you on the lips and then suck on your tongue, which I don't think the kid actually did, but he said that to the kid.
Right.
So, and so it's cute because it was sort of a young boy or whatever, but this is how, especially young girls, get victimized all the time because lecherous old men be like, come on, girl, give me a hug. And then when the girl is like, I do not want to hug this old man, they was like, and they look at the little girl and try to gaslight the little girl into saying it's just an innocent kiss. Why do you have to make something out of nothing? It was like, bitch, I don't want people touching my body, and I don't want to fucking kiss somebody. So like, whenever adults are like, go ahead and kiss your uncle, and the kid is like, I don't want to. I'm like if a kid is like, I don't want to hug you, I'm like, fine. I am fine. I am not offended, because you have to start accepting, just like an adult. If an adult says, I don't want to hug you, you don't fucking hug the adult. You don't make a child hug you or kiss you or or suck on your tongue, which is because also I'm just imagining he had old man breath, and so I'm just like, he is 87 years old. You know he got old man breath. You know it. You just know he got that old man breath. Oh, I could taste it in the back of my throat. Oh, we've all been in front of an old man or an old woman, but particularly old men, and you just be like, ooh, it's a particular kind of funk.
It smells like old cologne, like old strong ass cologne.
So anyway, what we got to talk about today?
So listen, we're gonna go ahead and add on to that a little bit. So there's been a picture going around on the internet, and it is of two people. One of these two people in this picture is actually the daughter of Bill Gates. Her name is Phoebe Gates. And she became the center of attention on social media because of a picture that her boyfriend, Robert Ross, who is Black, was in the picture. Now, their interracial couple's relationship has been on public display since like mid to late 2022. Photos of Robert and Phoebe booed up at a wedding recently started circulating again. And one tweet caught a ton of traction, shared a screenshot of the couple and added, Bill Gates' daughter and her boyfriend. Can you see how hard he's smiling? I understand my brother. And then there was another person that said, that made a video on the relationship and proclaimed that Robert dating Bill Gates' daughter was a little piece of reparations. He also noted that Robert Ross was full of pure Black boy joy, as he ain't supposed to be there. So, and then somebody else said something about Phoebe's boyfriend was doing this for Black men everywhere. But here's the issue. The issue is, this young man, do you even know anything about this young man? Because this young man has already been in, like, he's already set up to be in a completely different tax bracket and is in a completely different tax bracket.
He in the Phoebe Gates tax bracket, but that's really neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, but again, so here's the thing. He is according to his LinkedIn profile, he's a 2-time Stanford computer science graduate. He served as class president for 3 years. He's also the co-founder of an AI tool called Loom, or Lumi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, which helps engineering teams build and maintain custom data integrations with no code. And additionally, he describes himself as being extremely passionate about leveraging technology to build products that tackle the most pertinent issues facing our society. So listen, all the people talking about, he was moving up by dating Phoebe. Listen, maybe he's just interested in a young lady that actually caught his attention. Maybe they're actually on the same par. And maybe, as Bill Gates' daughter, maybe she does have a little bit more money with him. But he ain't broke. He ain't broke at all.
He ain't broke. And, it's also a little bit disgusting to me that people are putting all of this on either of them. So it's automatically setting it up like she has to have, or he has to, either of them has to have some sort of ulterior motive,
right,
for getting together. It can't just be two people who happen to share, 0.09% difference in their genome. That's really the only thing that separates us from people of other races. So that's all that really separates them as two people, and they're making this whole thing of it. Are all of the problems that, are sort of inherent in that joke there, but I think it's unfair to put that on them. And, is it potentially dooming that relationship because, he or she may decide that, I don't really need this kind of stuff. And, this is a cute relationship, but this, whatever. So I never found it funny when I first saw it. I just thought it was kind of disgusting.
Yeah. Well, so on to some other disgusting news as far as I'm concerned.
Although if Phoebe got an older gay brother, though, I'm just saying.
Bill is not necessarily a looker, but I'm sure he might have a big heart.
I said older gay brother to Phoebe, not Bill Gates.
I'm trying to figure out that apple falling from that tree. Bill ain't really giving me much to work with, so I'm just saying maybe.
Oh yeah, he might not be the cutest.
He might have a big heart, so we just gonna work with that.
But two ugly people often make pretty children.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Anyway, in the country music, the Country Music Television Awards are under fire after the annual event honoring the industry's best, including a performance from multiple drag queens. Now, the criticized drag performance included biologically female singer Kelsey Ballerina, who sang her single title, "If You Go Down, I'm Going Down Too," alongside drag queen alumni from RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, following the awards, she tweeted, "If you go down, I'm going down too. Thank you to these iconic queens for celebrating love, self-expression, and performance." Many people took to Twitter to show their support for Ballerini and the drag queens at the CMT Awards. Others blasted performances. They were saying stuff like, "Y'all just don't stop, do you? Does everything have to be a platform to shove the Rainbow Mafia down our throats? Can you ever just do, I don't know, country friggin' music?" All types of really, nasty other little comments or whatever. One of the reasons why she did it, because GOP lawmakers in several states have been working to outlaw drag performances in the presence of minors, and Ballerini's home state of Tennessee became the first to ban such performances in the presence of minors. So we'll see. Now, the national desk reached out to Viacom, CMT's parent company, for comment, but nobody responded back. So there's no comment, I guess, from Viacom at this particular point.
What is there to comment on? I mean, no one on stage was naked or doing anything other than, I mean, there is a long history of men dressing up as women.
And women in drag as well.
Right, but here's the difference. Let's call it is what it is. It's not the fact that these men are dressing as women. It's two things. Well, at least a couple of things. One, the fact that they are dressing as women and celebrating women, which is a problem. And two, the men dressing as women generally identify as gay, or they're not men at all. They're either women or they're people who are gender nonconforming or don't identify with one thing or another. So it's fine when Eddie Murphy dresses in drag. It's fine. I was going to say it's fine when Tyler Perry dresses in drag, but that feels like a fine line. It feels like another discussion that we need to have there. So it's fine.
Don't come on. No, come on the show, please, if you have something to say.
It was fine when, Flip Wilson did it, or when Milton Berle,
Baby.
All of these clearly identified heterosexual males did it, because they were clearly mocking femininity and womanhood. Medea. I think Medea is funny, but is Medea some aspects of women? But Medea is in no way an homage, at least not in my opinion, an homage to womanhood in the same way that
Miss Ernestine.
So that's the problem.
Miss Ernestine was everything, because she was, listen, you ain't like she was gonna call killer. That's what it was. Miss Ernestine she wasn't no joke. No motherfucking joke. Anyway, so something else I wanted to mention on the music side. Your girl, Trina, she did a Tiny Desk concert, and she slayed the Tiny Desk concert. And she's the first person that she wasn't the first person people think of when it comes to Tiny Desk concert. But people are talking about it because they say she delivered all the way through. She started her performance on a somber note, which she did Mama, which is a dedication to her mother, who unfortunately passed away from cancer in 2019. From there, the vibes picked up as The Baddest Bitch performed her hits like The Baddest Bitch. her Smash collab with Trick Daddy, Nan Nigga, and Single Again, among more. Of course, there were some haters on social media questioning why Trina was even tapped, and they were quickly to get, packed up for their tomfoolery. For the record, they said anyone that has an issue with Trina is the op. Those are the rules. And so I'm just here for it because Twitter has been definitely celebrating Trina's turn on Tiny Desk. They've even mentioned stuff like she's a blueprint for like a lot of today's rappers, like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and even Nicki Minaj. Listen, whether she is or she isn't, the thing for me is her fucking name is Trina. She is the baddest bitch. That's it.
I will say that, but the blueprint for Megan Thee Stallion,
that's what I'm saying.
If you would say Lil Kim was the blueprint, then I'd say that, but I'm not seeing. Listen, is Trina fab? Yes, but I would have never called her the blueprint, but that's just me.
Listen, we're gonna go with that. In some other news, Keisha Knight Pulliam and her husband Brad welcomed a baby boy. Congratulations. They recently welcomed their first child together. She celebrated her 44th birthday on April 9th.
Keisha Knight Pulliam is 44 fucking years old.
44 years old. Yes, little Rudy is 44, and she still looks like little Rudy, in my opinion. But okay, all right. She shared a short video showing a few moments before she gave birth, and then afterwards she said, "With this little one, we are complete. Happy birthday to me." She also shares a 6-year-old daughter, Ella, with Ed Hartwell, with his old fine, sexy self. But they have not named the newborn as of yet. But congratulations, Keisha Knight Pulliam and Brad James, on their new bundle of joy. So congratulations to that. Listen, Miss Halle Berry decides to set the internet on fire when she shared a picture on Instagram of her enjoying a glass of wine while posing nude. Let me be clear. All of her good jiggly bits and points were covered or far enough, because the picture is actually a very beautiful picture.
It's a gorgeous picture, and I mean, it's very tasteful. And she a grown-ass woman, the fuck.
And she captioned that photo when she put up there, "I do what I want to do. Happy Saturday." So a couple of celebrities were, praising her, and they were like giving, positive affirmations and, a whole bunch of things. But then on Twitter, there was a few fans that were criticizing her for being nude. And one of them saying something like, "Imagine being in your 50s, still posing nude for attention in menopause when you should be chilling with the grandkids. Aging with dignity is no longer a thing." Listen, let me tell you something. This 50-year-old person, while I have never posed completely nude, baby, I have...
Pause.
I have gotten damn near nude.
The lies you tell.
Completely nude. I've gotten...
You was completely nude in the picture. You was just not naked all of your bits was not showing in the camera.
Well, so that's the whole point I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But you was completely nude.
All I'm saying is I put it even in, that was even in my 40s. But in my 50s, because for the summer, yeah, I'm ready to listen, I have been holding on to a lot of little things just for my own little insecurities and things that I got going on.
I feel your body is beautiful.
Baby, I'm getting ready to be naked, and I'm getting ready to give it
like this. Really, I think she's beautiful.
I mean, I am. Thank you. Thank you so much. But all I'm saying is,
sure has a pretty smile.
Insert Colgate smile here. Ting. But so again, I applaud her because listen, baby, you not even that you look good, but you feel good. That's the whole point.
And 50s today is not what 50s were,
30 years ago.
You think of like shows like Dynasty, those women were already in their 40s then, and that show was revolutionary because they showed that you could still be 40 in your 40s and sexy and whatever. So people are living into their 80s and 90s, and pretty soon we're going to have lots of people who are living to 100 years old or more. Or are you supposed to put on a muumuu the day you turn 50? And
listen, my grandmother just turned 100 in November, and baby, the only reason why she's not wearing some of the skirts and pants and everything else she used to wear to go to church, because listen, I couldn't figure out where my mother got it from until I really thought back to where my grandmother, when she put her little heels on to go out the door to church, I was like, that's where it came from. She got it honestly. Listen, but at 100, she's still here, and I'm glad of it. But baby,
right. And you know, 50 doesn't look the same for everybody. I just wish people would allow people to do whatever. If that's what Hallie wants to do at 50, that's her business. And I think she's empowering a lot of people,
yeah,
particularly women who are living lives where people say just that kind of shit, where, you know, you're 50, so now you can't dress whatever. And Hallie's like, no, you can be 50. You can still show your body. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
you damn right. And I think she has 2 kids or 3 kids. I know she has the knowledge
Child,
girl.
she
And
got a lot. I don't say she's got like 2 or 3 kids, but she seems
yeah.
like a problem and a half in a
Hey,
relationship.
listen, we gonna let that go. But listen, shout out to Hallie. Do your thing, girl.
Yeah.
This next story I found in the Shade Room, which is really interesting. But so okay, so NLE Choppa appeared to dog walk Sukihana and rapper Sexy Red for a music video.
I don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
So Sukihana is one of these people from one of the reality TV shows. And I want to say that it was the show that Jocelyn was on and Stevie J and all that. And she's a reality TV star. And you've probably seen her, didn't really know who she was. But again, that's who Sukihana is. And she's been very vocal. She's a cute girl, but you know, she's been very vocal about a lot of things. And she does have body, like she is a very full, curvy woman. But anyway, the rapper NLE Choppa, like I said, her appeared to dog walk her. Now, the optics were a black man using the hair of 2 black women on their hands and knees as leashes, and apparently it didn't sit well with folks online. Now, one of those people that it didn't sit well with was Little Mama. Now, Little Mama made a comment and then she deleted her post. But then Sukihana responded, and Little Mama decided to dedicate a lengthy letter about image and lasting influences to the rapper. Mama tagged Suki and said Suki addressed her personally, even though Little Mama allegedly didn't do so. Then she explained how she felt about the music video's creative direction. She said, Little Mama was saying, you could have been any black woman in that video. I posted a comment under. The way I feel still stands. I feel like women these days will know better and still play a role in setting us back centuries. Now, the lip gloss rapper admitted she deleted the comment because she didn't want to offend Sukihana or anyone else partaking in that disturbing clip. And she said, I don't know you, but I don't want our daughters to remember us like this or feel this, what they need to do. This is what they need to do to survive. And if that's the excuse anybody come up with in 2023, she said, that's cap. Before Little Mama's explanation, Sukihana asked fans to warn Mama, and they said that girl, Little Mama, that sang that lip gloss song was in the comments speaking on me. If I was y'all, I would tell her, leave me the fuck alone. Then Little Mama asked what Sukihana's tag was in the comments. Suki clapped back and she replied, Little Mama, look in your man phone. Then after this exchange, Little Mama shared the letter. And then Suki sent another shot across Twitter. She said, they said Lil Mama thinks she better than people just because she got to perform on stage with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Baby, I was falling out when I heard that. So after all this kerfluffle back and forth between Sukihana and Lil Mama or whatever, then the rapper NLE Choppa got online and he spoke and he said, this is for entertainment purposes. The women were handled with respect the whole day. He also wrote that we have to learn the difference between entertainment and real life as a whole. We're entertainers. Our job is to entertain y'all. So there it is. It's a remix for his single "Slut Me Out." That's what we're gonna do. So listen. We just report the news. That's what we're gonna do. That's all we're doing. In other funny news, a 5-year-old girl ordered $4,000 worth of boots and toys on Amazon, giving her mother sticker shock. So on March 27th, the young lady was riding in her car with her family when she asked her mom to use her cell phone. It wasn't an odd question, and she likes to play with the games on the device. On the device. So she said, the mom said, I went about my day thinking nothing of it until my phone buzzed at 2 a.m. And she says, it alerted her to items being shipped via Amazon. And so she was worried that her account had been hacked. And she said she checked Amazon and discovered her credit card had been charged a total of $3,922. Now, in the car, Leela ordered 10 children's dirt bikes in assorted pink and blue colors, a children's 2-seat ride-on Jeep, which was a treat for herself and her 2-year-old brother, which totaled $31.79. The girl also purchased 10 pairs of white cowboy boots in women's sizes 7 for $743. So she bought the bikes from 2 different sellers, one of which immediately sent her mom an email to confirm if it was a valid order. And while she canceled that batch, the second seller had already shipped the remaining 5 bikes, which arrived that day. And the mom was able to cancel the boots order. However, the Jeep arrived on March 31st. Now, fortunately, all the companies have agreed to process returns. And she speculated that Leela purchased the bikes after seeing the same model at the park that day. She said there was an older boy with a bike, and she was devastated because she was too young to ride it. She said, I don't know how she found this exact item on Amazon. And her daughter was very matter of fact in her explanation. She said, I just wanted it and I got it. So in a teachable moment, the pair talked about the value of money and the concept of instant gratification. The little girl enjoys treats, but she also earns privileges with good behavior and hard work. As an independent spirit, she says, if there's a will, there's a way, and Leela found it. So, but the other part was her mom is a business owner who uses Amazon frequently and doesn't always double check her order history, although she says she will now. Listen, I listen, to be clear, I ain't never met your mom, but listen, I know Miss Stephanie was probably been like, what? She'd have been like, wait a minute. Now, what?
What?
She'd have politely marched up them steps and had a conversation with you and your sister and would have been like, now listen. And that's where everything would fade to black. Right. Everything would have faded right to black. But
and scene.
Right. Now the next day, the scene would have started with birds chirping and everybody else, and your mother probably would have been in your face like, hey, good morning. You up? You awake? Let me make sure your up. Y'all up? Y'all good? Everybody's up? Okay, now come on downstairs and get some breakfast. Don't even worry about that. Put some bandages on when you get back upstairs after you eat your breakfast. Then we'll talk about all that stuff afterwards. That's how that date would have started after.
Right. Now, I am 100%. I 100% do not think that, children, I don't really believe we should be hitting our kids at all. I think this is a couple of things. One, this child is 5 years old and people are like, oh, well, what is the child going to do? Do you realize we built a whole civilization without kids having access to fucking phones and tablets? So whenever I am somewhere and a child is like, hey, can I play with your phone? Hell no, you can't play with my phone. Hell no. It's all kinds of grown
people. What you say to me?
I said, hell no. It's all kinds of grown people shit on my phone because they'll be looking at the phone and it was like, what's Grindr? What is Scruff?
Wait, and then they'll be like, why is this penis on your phone? What is that?
You're right. And even if I didn't have any of that, listen, get that child a Tonka truck or a baby doll or some shit. Or if you feel like they need to play with some shit, buy them their own fucking tablet that they can play with. And listen, this child is too smart for her own good. Because if she had just bought like $3,000 worth of random shit, I'd have been like, oh, well, she just I saw mommy on this one app, so I'm just going to then just start randomly ordering shit. No, this little girl knew exactly what the fuck she wanted to buy. So this was not an old random ass, I'm screwing around on mom's phone and accidentally ordered $10,000 worth of tampons or some shit like that. No, this little girl knew she found the exact color bike. Do you know how hard you know how you gotta have this bitch knows how to do Boolean searches to be like, she didn't just say bikes. She said, show me pictures of white bikes. And I need to order 10 of them for me and my little brother. girl.
Listen,
You need to nip that shit in the bud. You know what? You can, and how do you nip it in the bud? You cannot be like, "Hi, Layla, that's so cute." Because if they see that you think it's funny, they're gonna not realize that it's a serious situation. So while you do not need to beat the child, that child needs to understand that what they did was wrong. Good.
I appreciate her having a conversation about instant gratification, which is something that I think that a lot of kids in this day and age, they don't have patience. And so, but again, there needs to be safeguards in place, and
Right.
there needs to be ramifications for your actions. That's it. That's where I'm at.
Because here's my thing. I would have kept one of them bikes and I would have put it somewhere where Leela got to walk past it every fucking day and been like, yeah, you can't ride this bike. That's your punishment.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. I'm going to look at this bike every day and I'm going to be looking for smudges. If this bike has moved even an inch, then we're going to have a whole other conversation.
Yep.
She needs to learn now because her mother told her no. I'm sure her mother told her no, you're not old enough to ride a bike yet, or at least a bike like whatever she got. And she decided her little fast ass was going to order the bike anyway. So she needs to nip that in the bud because that's how you get a child that's like 12 years old and you don't have no control over them, because when they did little shit like this, when they were 5, you laughed at it instead of making it a serious situation. And making it a serious situation don't always mean beating the shit out the child, but you can't laugh at it or, make it seem like it's not a big deal.
Listen, I appreciate people reasoning with their kids. I really do. That's it. That's all I got. I can't even finish this.
I just know too many people who were abused, and you see the results in how they are as adults. So I would never say that. And I always default to, if you can't put your hand on an adult, why is it okay to put your hand on a child?
Yeah, I got nothing. So
all right. Well, is that it?
That is it. Actually, one of the super friends sent me a story. I looked at it, but I didn't. I did not put it up here, but I'll find it. I'll use it next week. I'll report on that. Matter of fact, I'm putting it in a group so everybody can read it, because I don't feel like he didn't see it. Or I didn't see it.
Oh, did you see that video that I sent you that I put in the group?
Give me a little bit.
It was the 2 dudes stepping.
I think I remember that. I've been on social media overload, so I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah. I remember. Yes, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, like,
they called them girls Phi Beta sisters.
I said, y'all was a little too smooth. And it wasn't the both of them, it was the one.
But both of them.
But whatever.
I mean, go off, but
speaking of that, they actually
here's the video.
Yeah.
Everybody get you some. Everybody get you some.
Well, yes, this one in the front is definitely a lot going on with her.
Listen, they actually
more power to them, but I was just okay.
I actually just witnessed them. They up at the Black Degree Factory, they have lines that have gone over. So I've seen the Zetas being celebrated, because when they went over, I've seen the Sigmas being celebrated when they went over. I've also seen the Alphas being celebrated when they went over all last week. So congratulations to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always interesting. But now the big lines that I've seen over the years have always been between.
That's eccentric. Them cakes was caking.
The biggest lines I've always seen has been between Delta Sigma Theta and Alpha Kappa Alpha. And it's like, introducing the 100 ladies of, and I'm like, 100 people on the line? Like, how the hell did that happen? But hey, it's always a show, and it's always a sight to see when you see all this whole sea of pink and green, and this whole sea of red and white, and they come out with with the look, and it's amazing to see.
My thing is always, and were you ever a pledge master?
I was an ADP. I was never a pledge master.
Okay, so I've been the DP and the ADP, and baby, when we would have a line of like 12, I'd be like, "Bitch, this is a lot of work."
Baby, you are pledging all over again.
Right,
you are pledging all over again.
Right, and cause like one of my friends when we were in college, she's an AKA. And there was like 110 girls online one semester. And I was like, how do you even manage that as a pledge master? How do you manage that as a chapter? Because if you have 3 lines of 110 people, so now you got 300 and some women who some are sophomores, juniors, and seniors. All 300 of them aren't active. So it's only about 20, 25 people who are active. So y'all got to manage 100 people. Y'all got to make sure they know all their shit, all of the stuff. And this is just for my little ass fraternity. I can only imagine for like one of the D9, all of the shit that y'all got to do. I'd be like, bitch, we're not doing more. I'd still said a number that for me was astronomical, but was like, we're not doing more than 30 people online. And they'd still be like, oh no, we got to do at least 75. I'd be like, well, you can do somebody else because there's no way I'm going to be the DP for 75 people.
You know, I listen, even at 80, it's so funny because in my chapter, we had 2 soloists ever. And the second soloist was the one that I was his ADP. And for me, it was like, listen, I don't need you to do anything other than take care of yourself because you are one man against this entire chapter at this particular point. And even though my job was to make sure that he got into trouble, one person can't take all that.
Right.
And that was my thing. So, but I speak to him actually pretty regularly. And he's doing very well, but I don't think I ever, I don't think I can't imagine doing 100 people. And like, no, ma'am.
And where do you all even practice? I know I understand for you, but I'm saying when you gotta prepare a probate show for 125 women, where the fuck do you all even practice?
You reserve the gym or the auditorium or wherever you can go into.
I guess, yeah.
And so you do it that way. But I know because even for us when we were practicing for step shows and we practiced for my probate show, it was like the whole chapter was there watching us practice, and I was like, God damn, like what the fuck. But, it was still cool, though. I mean, but it was still, like, with the chapter, it was probably, like, 35 or 40 people, from the chapter. But there was only 3 of us online. So it was like, damn, like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So I just can't imagine 100 people. Like, no, I cannot. And the other part of that, for most D9 undergraduate fraternities and sororities, baby, y'all are one unit. You need to know exactly what's going on with everybody. So listen, I knew Kenny was over here. I knew Marlon was over here. I knew what time his schedule was, what his bus schedule was, where his classes was. He knew mine. I knew where Marlon. Baby, listen, you are all one unit. We all need to know where everybody is. We need to know what's going on. Like, damn all that.
Right.
We need to move as one. And we did that. So I don't see how that happens with 100 people, but that the process has changed. I'm not. And I respect the process and I respect where people are, but the process has changed. But I am, while I dreaded it when I was thinking about doing it, I'm glad I did it. It was one of the first things I ever did where I was like, bitch, you can do anything you set your mind to. Right. That was one of the first things I said after I went over. Now I cried like a bitch, but I was over. I was done. I want to vote my mom. I was like, my mom's like, what is wrong with you? I was like, couldn't get myself together, but it was all good. So
good. Well, all right, let's get into this beautiful bean footage.
Yes, indeedy.
Oh yeah, so we forgot to make the announcement. So we have decided to postpone BGKH at sea. That does not mean we are never going to do it, but we just got other priorities to get through this year. So that is being postponed. We will talk about doing something maybe a little bit more local and accessible in the coming year. So stay tuned for that.
How about that? How about that?
Right. Catch me outside. How about that?
I just so y'all know, I'm actually dropping this in the chat because I don't want to. I appreciate when people send us stories. And I was just chatting with one of you guys earlier today, and I wanted to make sure I put this in the chat for everyone to catch up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a verdict that came out about the Shanquilla Robinson's the Shanquilla Robinson trial, those that were on trial. So I just dropped the article in the Super Friends chat group. So please take a look at it. And if you guys have interesting articles that you want us to talk about or things that you want us to talk about on the show, please try to email me or email us so that we can get that on. And probably maybe like a day or so before the show, that would be great. And that way we can try to edit it, cut and paste it, and kind of make it more easier to report out to you as opposed to reading the whole article, which is something that I've been struggling with trying to do for myself, just to kind of cut it short and still keep it interesting. So,
yes.
But I appreciate you sending the article. So I wanted to share it with you all. So please check out the article in the chat.
That's the Facebook group.
Yes, in this Facebook group. Excuse me.
All right, kids. Well, it's been a lovely evening as usual. I enjoyed myself. I had a wonderful time. And I am looking forward to seeing all of you next week.
Cool. Again, thank y'all. We appreciate you coming and spending time with us. We know you have other things you could be doing, but we appreciate you coming and spending time with us.
Yes, and feel free, please like, share, and subscribe with all of your friends, family, and even your haters.
Definitely.
All right, kids. Well, thank y'all for coming out.
Wait. One more thing. So y'all, listen, I just want y'all to know. I done put this, here we go. I don't know if y'all can see this. Listen, I decided I was going to be the management company, and I decided to put this little sign up in my hallway.
Mm-hmm.
People and the noise and shit that they're making, and I put this whole little letter together. Listen.
What does it say?
Attention residents, just a few things. Please be mindful that the common areas of each building, hallways, stairs, front walkways are all a part of your residence. Loud visitors in these spaces cause noise that echoes and is amplified, especially late in the evening and early mornings. Leaving used items, trash, clothing, toys, etc. can interfere with people accessing their units. Please be mindful to dispose of unwanted or used items properly in the trash receptacles on the property. Let's work together to have a great shared living experience here at these apartments. Signed, management.
Okay.
That was my warning before I started knocking on everybody's motherfucking door. Because if you have to,
all right, now don't make me have to come down there because someone didn't put their hands on you.
Let me explain something to you. I'm not saying that nobody can't, but baby, if they do, this is being recorded. Y'all have a good night.
All right, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night. Bye.